Come on. All right, you guys, I'm not here to sing. I do that because when I go live, the software or technology that I'm using, it needs time. And so I have to do something other than just staring. You know how you have those people that go live and they're waiting and they just stare and they stare, right? All right, so I want to share something with you that I believe can help anyone who's listening to this. And I'm just going to go where it goes. What's up, Red Shirt? What's going on, baby? What's going on? Okay. I just got off the phone with a few clients that I'm working with. Unbelievable. You guys. Unbelievable. Because, you know, these people took a risk and 30 days later, what I'm saying is unbelievable is it's not unbelievable because I believe it. It's just amazing to see the progress that I'm seeing. So anyone that has weight to lose, what are you waiting on? Anyone who has elevated blood glucose levels, what are you waiting on? Anyone who has triglycerides that you're not happy about, what are you waiting on? Anyone who's dealing with bloating and inflammation, what are you waiting on? Because there is a way for you to improve that. Now, the reason why I'm doing the live and what triggered me to just jump on here is I was sharing with a few people what the difference is when you're losing weight from when you start something to when you continue to do the same thing, let's say months later or years later, right? There's people who lose weight and then they hit a plateau where they're not losing weight anymore, right? They hit a stall. And then they start questioning, like, why isn't this, it's not working? What's going on? It's not working. And then they get thrown off, they lose motivation, and then they go try something else. And next thing you know, a year or two goes back and they say, oh, I had success with that. Let me try it again, but it doesn't work the same. Well, there's a reason for all of that. See, when someone asks me about our programs for women over 40, women under 40, or for men, they're not canned, right? They're not a cookie cutter approach. So when you ask me, how does the program work? I have to come back and say, well, what is your life like? What is your metabolism like? What is your body composition? What's your ethnicity? What's your age? Because everything is focused on you. But the world we live in, so many of us are rushing to just get on a program because they're cookie cutters. Like one works for one person, then it should work for all people. And that is not the way, that's not how it works. We're all unique. And as we mature in life and all of these other health factors and markers come into play, ethnicity, age, body composition, are you taking medications? What is your microbiome like? Like all of these things play a huge role. What's your blood sugar levels like? They play a huge role. And you want to take a customized approach. But unfortunately, we live in a world where the doctor, which the true meaning of the word doctor means teacher, they're not teaching anymore. They don't have the time. And so we just get acclimated to that. So a canned cookie cutter approach is not how you keep the weight off for the rest of your life. Why? Here's why. Let's say you have someone who's, I'm gonna say 200 pounds. And it's a woman, let's say she's 45 years old. I could say the same thing for a woman who's 5'6" and wants to lose 10 pounds. And let's say she's 140, but would love to get under 130. When that woman that's 140 gets down to 130, she's a different woman. Her body composition, her makeup, her glucose, her hormones, how everything is working in her body is different at 130 than at 140. So what works at 140 does not work at 130 the same. The same as if you're 250 pounds and you get down to 180, you're different. And then things are going to need to change based on where you are at that moment in time. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because we live in this space where everyone is so accustomed to going with the cookie cutter approach that they forget that my metabolism, my microbiome, my fingerprints, my preferences for food are unique to me, not to everybody else. So you work it totally different. You know, I'll never forget when I was working with Fernando Vargas, pro boxer, and he was at the height of his career. I'll never forget this. And after working with him for a period of time, we were talking, and I said, the next time it's going to be easier. He goes like, what do you mean the next time? You know, when we got to lose the weight and get ready for the big fight. Like, why is it going to be easier? Because I know your body now. See, when I work with people, there's a discovery phase. And the goal there is to discover what works best for that person, how we interact together, what their specific goals are and food preferences are. And then you speak to that. And then you work around it. But again, what works for someone at 180 pounds, when they get down to 160, you got to work with that body. It's a different body. And there's different results, and there's different outcomes, and there's different processes that must be taken into consideration. Not a canned approach, and you just keep doing the same thing that once worked before. I saw this with a program called Body for Life. I would watch a person do Body for Life. I'll never, and it was perfect, because I was doing a seminar and I was talking about how cookie cutter weight loss programs are part of the big problem. And so I had this guy that I knew, and he was in this gym, and he had done Body for Life, and he did great. His body looked amazing. Looked like he was ready to go and step on the stage for a fitness bodybuilding contest. Well, 2, 3, 4, 5 years goes by, and he ended up gaining the weight back, you know, life, all the things that go with that. And then I saw him, and he says, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. Remember I did the Body for Life? I said, yeah, you did really good with that. He goes, yeah, I'm starting again next week. So he started again. It did not work the same. So how many of you people have done diets where maybe one time it worked, but it didn't work the same? I've seen the same thing with the Diet-Free Life methodology. That's why we have a unique way of working with women over the age of 40 and working with men as they mature over the age of 40, because it's a different game. Now, a canned approach could probably work for a lot of people. I know that we had great success with my first program that went national. But at the same time, I started meeting people where it wasn't working. And all of that played a role into getting me to this place where we're able to customize so you can win the race of living your healthiest and happiest life when it comes to your weight and your health. Okay, so canned approaches are cool, but you got to customize. You really do. You got to speak specifically to the individual. And this is something that is available for everyone. Okay, that's the first point. The second point is oftentimes we are mentally in jail because of this thing called the scale. The scale is a method that we have grown up with, right? You go to the doctor, and the doctor opens up that cabinet door. They do your weight. Now it's iPads, and they look at some data that says you're either on weight, underweight, overweight, and then they give suggestions. A lot of that is hogwash, but it mentally puts us in a place where we tie health to what our weight is on the scale. And then we tie vanity, or how we want to look, based on what everyone else looks like. And then somewhere in there, the scale plays a role. Don't focus just on the scale. Don't focus just on the scale. Easier said than done. Here's why. I'm watching clients right now lose weight on the scale. That's great. And then you hit a plateau. To me, that's great. I expect it. I get it, right? If you ever watched a movie or a TV show called The Biggest Loser, they all lost weight on the scale. But what else? What else do they have in common? They all gained it back. We also know scientifically that as they were losing weight, they had slowed their metabolism. One, because they weren't getting enough nutrition. And two, because they were exercising too much, which also played a role in they weren't getting enough nutrition. And so metabolism slowed, threw them into a metabolic tizzy. And when they were done with all of that craziness and the TV show did great and got ratings and made money with advertising, those people had to go back home to a real life. They had to go back home. And they did everything they could to keep that same momentum, but they couldn't keep up with that. Come on. So they all gained the weight back. The data is there. So how do you avoid that? Well, I'm in the game. I know how to avoid that. I get it. So when the client drops weight, right? And I've watched quite a few lose a good amount of weight in the last 30 days. I look at their data. I'm watching the weight go down, weight go down, weight go down, weight go down. And eventually you're going to hit a bump. But having a coach, I'm going to help you work around it because I have a willing player. So I give you the play and you go work it, right? And then the weight comes down, the weight comes down. That's not the point that I want to make right now. The point I want to make is, let's say the weight comes to a halt, but your blood glucose when I first started working with you was 130. Your fasting blood glucose. Okay, you're on your way to be pre-diabetic and soon diabetic, and that's a whole nother thing of problems. So I just got off the phone with one of my clients, and I'm so proud of her because she has not hit a bump yet. Every week her weight's down. Fascinated. And I'm just happy that I remember sending her an email saying, hey, I'm starting this new program. And if you want to learn more about it, financially it's ideal for people. It's something that's doable. I'm really passionate about what I'm doing right now. So I want you to like try this out. And she goes, okay, Robert, what do I do? She signed up, she came on board, and her blood glucose levels at that time, her fasting was 130. Today, it's under 100. You're talking 30 days later, under 100. She's not starving. She's not missing out. She's learning. She's becoming a prosumer. You know what I mean? She's learning how to make it work. And she took herself out of a position to be diagnosed with prediabetes, if not type 2 diabetes. So she doesn't have to take medication. It's no longer a concern. No longer a concern. On the flip side, I'm meeting people. They don't do anything. Life continues to move on. 6 months later, I see them at Trader Joe's or at Vons or a grocery store. And I go, hey, man, how you doing? Like, what's going on? And I'm not thinking about nutrition. I'm not thinking about weight loss. I'm thinking about them. I'm saying, hey, how are you doing? And they go, oh, man, I just went to the doctor and they said my hemoglobin A1C was elevated. It looks like I'm pre-diabetic. Sometimes it's like, I'm diabetic. It could have been avoided. It could have been avoided. Now, if you're diabetic, we can work with that. You know what I'm saying? It all comes down to you saying, yes, I'm ready. And then you go for it. And if it doesn't work, I raise my hand. I don't raise my hand because it always works. It's never not worked over 20 years. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. I'm just telling you what I know to be true. It always works. And when I'm coaching someone, I can 1000% say that, because when you hit a bump, you're not alone, right? So the coach is there, whether it's me or one of our coaches, and then we pivot. You make adjustments, and then it keeps coming down. You make adjustments because as your weight shifts and your body composition changes, it's like working with someone totally from the start. A canned cookie cutter approach to losing weight may work for some, but it's not going to work for all. And the more mature you are in age, and the more challenges you've had with your health, and the fact that you may be taking any kind of medication could play a major role in why you're not able to be successful. So, any questions for me, people? Because I will answer any questions that you have about nutrition, about health. I mean, you can go pay someone $125 for a talk, for an hour consultation with the average nutritionist or dietitian. Or you can catch lives like this and go, hey, I do got a question. So take advantage of it, right? Like if someone was on here and they're doing like home repairs and they're giving tips and tools on how to, reduce my electricity by following certain guidelines or buying certain bulbs, then, hey, I'm all about it. Help me. So I'm here talking about nutrition and weight loss and improving health and reversing type 2 diabetes, and all the things that, you know, is of high value, right? Because you pay big bucks for that kind of stuff. I'm saying, hey, I'll give it to you. I'll tell you exactly what to do right now, free. Whether you catch me on Facebook, YouTube, because the way I look at it is that as we get this opportunity to live on this planet, right? I'm not keeping all this to myself and then dying. I'm not taking it to the grave. I want to help as many people as I can possibly help. So if you're ready and you're willing, great. But I'm not into the hype. So don't call me or text me or email me. Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm ready now. Okay, if you're ready, then come. But if you're not, I mean, don't waste my time. But when I say, are you ready? The challenge is that many people have a preconceived idea of what is going to take in order to get these results. I'm going to say that one more time. They have a preconceived idea on what it's going to take to get the results, because they're thinking about in their mind, no matter what I say in words, what they've done in the past to lose weight. You don't know what it's going to be, because you're not me, I'm not you. We got to look at the whole picture and then put you on a path that gets you results. So one of my clients, I was talking to her about this earlier today, and my client goes, "Oh yeah, my sister said, since I'm paying you, Robert, to coach me, that just learn as much as possible and then share that information with the sister." And I go, you know how not smart that is? Because what I'm doing with you is with you. It has nothing to do with her. So again, she's looking at it from a canned cookie cutter approach, instead of saying, okay, what's going to be ideal for me, for my body, for my health, for my likes, right? Like if you like soul food and your best friend never eats it and they're more Mediterranean style, and then your other good friend is more of a vegan style, just based on food preferences, it is not a cookie cutter. It's based on what your preferences are. Then one of the friends is 280 pounds, the other one's 170 pounds, and the other one's 230 pounds, different body compositions. One is taking medications, metformin or something else, and another one has allergies, and the other one doesn't like to exercise, but then another one loves to exercise. A canned approach is not what works for everybody, but that's what's sold to everybody. See, the days of getting a coach, I think, are at the highest, higher than ever, because you need something that's going to speak specifically to you and to your challenges, to your situation, to your likes and dislikes, not just going with some canned approach. So if you have any questions, people, I would love. What's up there, Mary Lee? Dee Dee, good to see you. I think I see Alicia. Dante's in the house. What's up, Annie? Sylvia, good to see you guys. Thanks for, tapping in. I was doing some work, working my butt off. Oh, there she is, the one and only Jen H, baby. My friend Jen. I hope Jen caught that. Okay. Woo! So what are you guys having for dinner tonight? So I'm gonna get off topic because I'm starving. I need to go to the grocery store and pick up some food. Yeah, can't wait. I know what I'm craving. And usually I eat what I crave. So I think tonight I'm really craving. I eat this a lot, but I'm gonna grill some salmon because I've been pan frying it lately, and every once in a while I broil it, but I'm going to grill it tonight. And then I was really thinking about some asparagus on the grill. I love it on the grill. And then I've been craving some baked beans. They're in my head, so I want them. So it's really going to be protein, which is going to be my salmon, and then slow carbs, because that's what I want. Again, eat what you want. Everybody eats differently. You may say, I don't even like baked beans. Then that's fine. Just swap that out and eat what you want. Once you learn how to combine your foods and create what we call a fat burning meal, that's what you eat, and it keeps your body maximizing fat loss, which is in fat burning mode. So there's Jen. There she is. Okay, Shirley had Mexican salad, yummy. I wish I could see what everybody like. If you could post your photos of your meals, I can give you some tips because I scan around and I look at like some of my friends because people will post pictures of their meals, and I'll see people eating what they call really healthy, but they're not combining the foods in a way to get the results. And then I see those same people a week, a month later, and they'll post, man, I'm eating healthy. This weight will not come off. Well, you could eat as healthy as, you could grow it in your backyard. But if you're not combining the foods the way we know helps you lose weight, you're going to gain weight. So combining your food the right way with the right portions will get you the right results. That simple. So let's do this. All right. Brenda Klein, how you doing? Made some green chili. Oh, that sounds good. I have a chili recipe. That is time. All right, here's a question I have. When you guys make chili, do you make it with macaroni elbows? Just let me know. When you make chili, does your chili have macaroni elbows in it? Okay, I just want to know. Or any other fast carb if you're familiar with the methodology. So just let me know. When you make chili, okay, do you have macaroni elbows in your chili? And I'm asking this question because growing up in Anderson, Indiana, my mom made chili and I loved the chili. But the chili always had macaroni elbows in it. So then I get to California and I go to like a chili cook-off. And not one of the chilies I tasted had macaroni elbows in it. So I'll never forget, I was going, okay, they call this chili. And that's when I started thinking people in California are just crazy because this is not chili. There's no macaroni elbows because that's what I grew up knowing. I thought if it was chili, it had macaroni elbows. Well, I've learned that there's different forms and recipes of chili. So, but it took a long time before I could just move into acceptance with that. But I do have a chili recipe and I'm going to post it here soon and I'll share it inside of our Facebook group for those who want to try a different chili. And then someone says, well, it's not, or is it? So Terry, all right, Terry Smith, will you please, I know we're going to be talking soon, but can you please tell me, confirm again, that when you had chili in Indiana, it had macaroni elbows? And Dee Dee, let me know because Terry's from Indiana. She gets it. We're going to be talking Pizza King, which in April, I will be in Indiana and I will go to Pizza King and have what they call a boost meal. Okay. So, all right. So most people are saying chili with no macaroni elbows, that's real chili. And then I got a few Hoosiers that are telling me, oh yeah, you put macaroni elbows in it. Regardless, it can be a fat burning meal. Okay. All right. Well, Terry's with me. Good. And Dee Dee, you got to let me know. So Dee Dee, I think Dee Dee's saying the same. So as Indiana people, we got that down. So we don't care what the rest of the world is thinking. We're going to have our macaroni elbows in our chili, and it's chili. And I'll let you call yours chili, but I'm still going to think in my own head that chili must have macaroni elbows. Otherwise, it's not chili. Now, I did have someone tell me that's more of a goulash, or it's like I forgot the word they use, but we just kind of throw things together. And I called it chili, but they said it's not a chili. Anyway. All right, you guys. So hopefully you got what I came on to share to help you. A canned cookie method approach does not work for everybody. So if you come to me and you work with me, it's all based on you, not what someone else is doing. Now, are there similarities? Absolutely, because I created this thing called the Diet-Free Life methodology, and we make fat-burning meals. That is the common part. It's a methodology. I'm not straying from that. That's what we coach on. That's what powers everything that I do. And it makes it easy for people to pick it up and to learn it. Because once you learn how to make a fat-burning meal, you can then tweak it to work specifically for you. Once you understand what a fat burning snack is, you tweak it and make it specific to you. And then you got it and you own it for the rest of your life. Because guess what? We all have a staple, a nutrition staple, meaning there's certain things that we all eat pretty regularly. And yeah, we try to switch it up and bring in variety. But like in my house, I always have rice, always. And in my house is white rice. That does not mean I don't eat brown, and it doesn't mean I won't eat wild. But what I eat most of the time is white rice, because that's what I like. I like the taste of it. That's what I prefer. Not bad, not good. It's just that's my staple. So the things that you eat regularly is your staple. And then, if I'm in, let's say, Florida, and I get to eat some real Cuban food, I'm going to eat it. It's not my staple because I don't make Cuban food. I don't live with anybody who understands the culture that's like authentic, real Cuban food. So when I get a chance to eat it, because I do love it, then I'm going to enjoy it and make the most of it. That makes sense? Yes, it makes sense. But it's not my staple. So once you know how foods are categorized, fast carbs, proteins, fats, condiments, etc., then you own it for the rest of your life, because rice is not going to change. It's still going to be a fast carb. A potato is still going to be a fast carb if you eat potatoes. Broccoli is still going to be a slow carb if you eat broccoli. Black beans are going to be a slow carb if you eat black beans. Turkey, chicken, fish, meatloaf are still going to be protein sources if you eat those foods. If you're a vegan, the things that make you a vegan, I say hardcore vegan sometimes because I call them hardcore when they won't eat anything that's processed at all. They only eat carbs, plant-based foods, 100%. If it's meatless Morningstar, which I like, they won't eat it. Not all, but some. And so again, if I'm coaching them totally different than I would coach someone who will eat Morningstar. So everyone is unique, and that is to be respected. And that is another reason why we have this program called VIP. It's for very important people, because you're very important. We're all very important. Our time is very important. And then it must be like acknowledged, appreciated, and respected. And depending on where you are in your journey, that's to be respected. And it's to be handled with care and with grace to put you on the platform to win the race. And I'm not always trying to rhyme, but it just always comes out with the rhyme. It just works out that way. But anyway, we can all win, but you got to do something about it. Don't put off another second, another day, what you can do now. You're going to eat tomorrow. So why not learn how to eat the right way? You know what I mean? And learn to eat in a way that's going to get you the outcomes that you want, so you don't spiral down. And next thing you know, you got another medication you got to take. Next thing you know, you got another thing you got to think about. Next thing you know, you're even more frustrated. Then you got to look at living a life without those things. I mean, I know someone who literally, they chose to die in the hospital because their diabetes got so bad that they had to get amputated. And she didn't want to get her leg amputated, so she chose to die. And she died. And if I mention a name, there's a whole bunch of people who will catch the replay of this or the live that know exactly who this person is. It was very sad because I knew this person. I knew them. And they made that decision because they couldn't imagine living life, number one, without their leg, and number two, without being able to eat the foods that they really want to eat. They felt like that was prison. So they checked out. It happens. Why put yourself in that situation when all she had to do was learn what we're doing? As I'm watching people's glucose just get better, their body fat improve, their overall health and energy, and their gut improves, and the bloating. I mean, come on, man. Let's live it. Let's live it. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Anyway, God bless you guys. You have a good week. Let's make it a good one. And I'll be back in a couple days live, if not tomorrow. I like to do it when I'm moved, and I was moved on this one. I just wanted to talk about the difference between customizing and when you go with a can or cookie cutter approach. I don't want a cookie cutter. I don't want can, and I don't want you to have that. I want you to have something customized. Okay, so reach out. I can connect you with the coach. We can work with you somehow, some way, or you can take what I've shared and use it however it works best for you in your life. Okay, so you guys have a good one. I gotta go. It's time to go make that meal I told you about. It's gonna